she run from my law to like
Stop it.
Till I hide in the fucking
fucking half and half born. What the fuck does this mean?
Hello. Hello.
What is that?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to session number 5 of D&D 5th edition. My name is Jacob, or JC, and I will be your dungeon master for the evening. I am joined by all 6 wonderful people for the first time. Some people are able to make it, and other people are able to not be in the hospital. So congratulations to everyone. Happy to have all of you here and ready. Couple quick announcements. We are going to, if you haven't been able to watch the first 4 sessions before this, fear not. They will soon be going up, as I have officially started getting everything ready for them to be releasing on my YouTube channel, JC Productions. They will be coming up, releasing weekly, starting probably next week. Just wanting to get that announcement out there that if you've missed it or have not, or just want to go back and check something, they will be going up and archived soon. If you're currently watching, though, hello, welcome, good to have you here. We do this every single week that we can on Thursdays. It's a joy to be here, and if this is your first time, welcome. Please, if you enjoy the stream, don't forget to follow and head over to the YouTube channel. I stream on Tuesdays with James most of the time, and those D&D streams are going to start popping up. With all of that said and out of the way, though, I think it's time to jump in to what happened last on Usapait D&D. Where we last left off, the party was split into 2 groups. One fractured further in the beginning of Glairon and Yoi, who had traveled to try and take the high road with the Lord of the city, and as they had been directed to one of the captains on the wall from the Lord, Yoi decided that she needed to split to get some things aligned before they actually secured passage. However, Glairon's conversation or meeting was not to happen, as a loud horn rang out that symbolized a returning force to the city. It was the Northern Third, the same one that Glairon had seen travel southward a couple of weeks ago. However, this time they were badly wounded, and a large swath of the force was missing. He went to go and assist where he could, pushing through the crowd, where he found a elven individual standing out from amongst the crowd of desolate soldiers. Approaching and striking up a conversation, this individual did not seem to know too much, but just to know that he was supposed to be heading north to here. The individual was happy to stay with Glairon, though, as the 2 of them went back to the inn to try and sort everything out over some food. The other side of the group went in to burglarize one of the nobles' houses that they've been set up to do by Becky, one of the possible criminal people that had given you a job, a low road, if you will, to gain passage out of the city. Although for this first one, it was just coin. The infiltration actually went quite well, all things considered, quickly being able to knock out the 2 maids that you both had scouted out, and making it both to the 2nd and 3rd floor without issue. Until Aelin opened the door to the office of this noble, and found that the butler was slashed open, his stomach spilling out onto the floor over the desk. This sent both him and into a bit of a panic as they went to collect items from the second and third floor as quickly as possible, and Ophelia was warning them that someone else was approaching. A soldier on horseback arrived at the front of this mansion and began to walk up to the front door. Ophelia, thinking quickly, let out a distraction to guide the man about 2 blocks away down the alley, but with their immediate alley escape blocked off, they tried to slip over across the street into another alleyway, where falling over, one member of the group was seen, and then with Ophelia trying to cover that up as well, you two were seen casting magic. The guard called on you. 2 of them approached. Ophelia, with a quick wave of her hand, was able to dispatch one of them non-violently, but a scuffle broke out between Aelin and the last one remaining, ending in our Shadowkai running the young man through. With this transpiring, blood on the sword and over our and over one of the party, as the guard had nearly skewered you just as much. 2 of you retreated to a not safe house, but a hidden spot that Ophelia had seen when she had first come to the city. And escaped unscathed, fractured in the later half, ditching the group to run somewhere else. Glaeren and Valden saw enter from the back end of the inn, quickly moving to their room and closing the door. And that is where we'll pick up now, as we move to the inn. Yoy, you
Yes.
have originally you had spent this day starting to attempt some sort of high road proposition with the lord of this city, Alinar Orin, and you haven't. You might have your own differing opinions from how it went, but at the very least, this lord, she instructed you and Glaeren to go meet with the captain of the South Wall. While Glaeren was insistent on that he should go talk to this person, you decided to pull back and work on some personal alchemical projects, and as such, relinquished yourself to your room, leaving Glaeren to go to the South Wall himself. At this moment, you have spent the majority of the day working on your project and feel pretty satisfied with what you've created. And as you have even seen kind of the slit of retreating sunlight coming from your window, you realize that you have used most of the day. Even as you kind of sit back in this room, take a deep breath to yourself, knowing where the day escaped to, you hear a door very close by next to you open and shut. And with how it's been set out, you know that this is one of your companions, acquaintances, people that you're traveling with at the moment in this city, have come back, opened and shut one of their doors.
So do I know that that's Glaeren's room or no?
You are next to Glaeren's room. That was not the door immediately next to you.
Oh, so it...
You know it's not Glaeren, but you don't know who else.
Can I hear anything?
Make a perception check.
All right. Perception. Oof, that's probably not going to tell me anything. Um, yeah, that's a 6.
It's a 6. You kind
Yeah.
of move over to the door right now, and you do not immediately hear anything past the kind of rustling outside.
Okay. All right. Yoi will pop out of her room and then go to the door that she heard open and shut and knock.
Okay. You move to open the door first. As you do this, you can see a little bit just kind of further, further outwards, just anything you're able to naturally see, first of all, is the dining hall that is across the room from you, across the hall from you. The kind of entrance space, that counter that people have gotten their bathing tokens for the bathhouse from, and then where you all had gotten food before. And at it, you can see a approaching ally. You can see Glaven, who had moved to get up from his table, most likely as he was coming over from the dining section. And following behind him is a curious, kind of deeper, bluer skinned elven individual that you do not recognize. If you'd like to re-describe your character, you are welcome to, just so that Yoi can get the best definition.
I would love to. So you see an elf, roughly 5'6", 140 pounds, with red hair, blue skin, and violet eyes.
But why are you blue?
That's pretty much the question right now, actually.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Yoi, seeing Glairin, approaches very quickly. Glairin, I
Yes?
need your armor.
Oh, okay. What for?
I want to try something, please.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's just over in my room. I have to go and grab it.
Perfect. And you are?
I'm assuming I'm being looked at.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of look around. And JC, is there anybody around me that could be being talked to instead of me?
I mean, the only person that's even remotely within the same area is this young half-elven girl or woman behind the receptionist desk, but she's not paying attention to the group of you.
So it's almost like there's no way that I don't know that.
You are the obvious person.
Okay. I'm Valden, but most people call me Val. Who? You? Do I know you?
Not likely. I don't think so, at least.
I don't know. I'm gonna stick out my hand to shake.
Yoi will reluctantly stick out her hand, and shake Valdon's hand. It's Valdon, right? Valdon? Valdon. Okay. You're the first person to properly introduce yourself to me. Such in this way. Yoi, that's my name.
Nice to meet you. And I'm gonna like lean in a little bit closer. I don't know you, right? Do I know you? I don't know you. Do I know you?
Unless you've purchased a clothing item from me, I wouldn't imagine so.
And you're just gonna see Val just like start racking his brain, just
Perfect.
really intently thinking. Uh, uh, oh, okay, okay, clothing. Okay, okay.
All right, Glaren, to your room then.
I suppose for now, I really do need to talk to our tiefling companion, though. But I suppose I can go and grab my armor for you first.
Tiefling companion. Are you talking? She leans in, so that way, Valden can't hear her. Are you, are you talking about the blue individual?
No,
Ti-
I'm
Tiefling?
talking about. I'm gonna point to room.
Ah, right. I need to. Also need to speak with. I believe I have something else that I want to try, but um, I will speak with them after you then.
All right. Honestly, you should probably be there for our conversation as well.
Uh, did something happen?
That's what I need to find out.
All right. Where is everybody else, anyways? I thought that everybody was on a mission today.
That is the question.
All right.
That is the question.
I suppose you probably know nothing more than I do. Well,
No.
in that case, let me do my thing really quick.
Okay.
And then I assume that we're just heading over to Glaren's.
Yeah.
Phew.
Clayton will run into his room and just gather up his chainmail real quick and pass it to you.
Okay, okay. JC,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to enhanced defense on the chainmail.
Okay. How would you think that Yoi would weave this infusion into Glaren's armor?
So I think that since this is the first time that Yoi is doing this, so it's gonna look really clunky at first. But what I think would be for her first time is her like really, really, really concentrating. And she grabs a couple pieces of like chain that she had from like her own thing, and then connecting it just like one or two links to the chainmail to not like truly super alter it, but it just adds like that flair onto it.
Okay. It was Glaren, you watch as she kind of like hovers over the armor and kind of quickly goes to work. It doesn't take that long. You see her placing things into and onto your armor that looks like they've been meticulously worked on. But the actual process itself doesn't... It's more like connecting something together than actually working on it.
Okay.
All right. Here you go.
What?
I think it works.
What did you do?
So enhanced defense gives you a +1 bonus to your armor class while wearing the armor. I have supposedly made it better, but I guess we'll have to see if it works.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, to the tiefling,
Yes.
and Yoi will just kind of follow behind Glaeren and Valdon to kind of just in the back for now.
All right. Glaren, it appears you're leading.
All right, Glaren's gonna walk up to door and just start knocking on it.
You have entered into this room, done whatever you've been doing, and at this point, whatever you are either trying to, whether you're trying to rest, whether you're trying to put something away, whether you're trying to change clothes, do anything, this is now being interrupted. However, before the interruption actually happens, I would love for us to walk it back even just a couple minutes after you've closed that door. What is getting up to as soon as that door closes initially?
Once the door closes, and I can lock it, I'm gonna put the backpack under the bed, and then like put out any light sources I have, and like close the shutters or the blinds,
Okay.
and like try to make it look like either no one's here or if they are, they're asleep.
Okay. So for the past couple of minutes, you've been very delicately placing this backpack underneath. You've been closing the shutters. You've been going around dimming, dimming any candles that had initially been done. And it's already quite dim in here because they only have like a couple like protected lanterns by the door so that a fire doesn't spread. But as you've kind of done this and you've just finished dimming the last light, you've brought this lantern over by your bed and just slowly turned off the oxygen flow to the flame to let the fire die. You hear this kind of sharp, just 3 knocks, very curt knocks coming from the door.
How much would I be able to see through like the crack in the door?
I mean, you can certainly try.
I'd love to.
Okay, please roll me a perception check.
I ain't seeing shit. 5?
5. You can't even see shadows through here. Your eyes haven't fully adjusted to even going from the dim to near pure black of an enclosed room with the shutters closed. And you just don't see anything.
I'm sure I crack the door open enough to see who's there.
Okay. Glaeren, you see the door crack open enough to just see the thin ray of light illuminating your tiefling ally's face. As you open the door to see Glaeren holding his armor kind of next to the door underneath one arm and his other hand coming down from, or rising up to knock again, as the two of you lock eyes for a moment.
You're gonna need to explain what just happened.
You a cop?
I'm not a cop.
You are.
Glaren's gonna just push into the room.
Are you gonna try to stop it?
Yes, I am.
All right, I'd love both of you to roll athletics checks. Athletic.
Well,
22.
You begin to put your shoulder against the door, and it's not even like a hard, like, shove door open. He just sets his hand against the door and applies steady pressure, and your feet slide across the wood as you can't find purchase. As Claire and you able to push open the door. You see that the room is completely dimmed. A bit of smoke hangs in the air from the snuffed out lamp. And yeah, the room is pretty barren. But behind the door.
Yep. Okay. Glaren's in the room now. He's going to look back at Yoy and Val. Are you guys coming in?
Val is gonna. I don't know if notices, but Val is gonna kind of just stand in the doorway and just look at really kind of like I guess that quizzically, just very confused on who this person is, because this is just another random person.
I'm gonna close the door before you can walk through.
Okay.
It's just Glaven here.
Val, you see like a quick glimpse of like a very upset tiefling before the door just shuts in your face. And by proxy, Yoi's face.
Well, that was unkind.
No, I don't know who that is, but that was kind of mean. JC, do I have a room? Did I buy my room? That's what I was down there to do, and I think I got dragged upstairs. I don't think I have a room right now.
I don't think you have a room right now.
I don't think so either. I'm gonna convey that to Yoy. I don't have a room.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn around and walk downstairs. Not another
So
word.
you are on the first floor. You are like right next to reception.
what?
So it's like
He actually
literally
just
I thought
went
it was-
to the basement.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
you're literally like walking like 6 feet over the reception counter.
Oh. Yeah, okay, then I'm just gonna say, I don't have a room, and then turn around and leave.
Okay, you're gonna go get a room.
I'm gonna go buy a room.
Interesting thing, and the only thing that matters, there is 2 more rooms available in this section of first floor, but you can also get a room on the second floor. Like, there is a second floor to this inn. Would you prefer to get a room next to these people or on the second floor away from them?
Are the second floor rooms nicer?
They are not.
They're just all the same.
They're all
just
the
a different
same.
floor.
Damn. Man says his priority straight.
I mean, if there's a nice room, I want a nice room.
Mm-hmm.
These people seem good enough. I'll get a room on the same floor.
All right. That's what I need to know. While you're doing that, unless if Yoi wants to interject with anything that she's doing, we're going to go inside that room.
Yeah. Yoy is going to like an angry mom, just knock knock knock. Glaven, knock knock knock. Open the door. I need in.
Glaren's just going to open the door for Yoy.
Okay.
Yoy was about to knock again, and with you opening the door, she like takes an inhale in and then kind of huffs and straightens her back and then walks in. It's not very nice to shut your door in a lady's face, but
Great.
we'll...
Yeah, just let another one in. Anyway, close the
Another
fucking door.
Yoy
Yeah.
will shut the door behind her.
All right.
Now then, what the hell happened. There were just guards at the front desk asking about two dark elves who are supposedly being sought after for some kind of crime over across town. Not across town. How nearby was it?
I mean, across town's applicable. It
Okay.
like it's basically if you guys are in the northwestern quadrant, they were in the northeastern quadrant.
Okay. So yeah, across town. I'm assuming it has something to do with whatever job you guys were doing.
Well, everything went well until it didn't. Couple guards saw them, and I don't know where they are right now.
Who is them?
I think you know who the other two are.
Okay. Wanted to make sure there wasn't anyone else who was involved with this. What? So guards saw you and you just ran back here? Do you know where they went? What were you even doing?
Um, we we just took some stuff. Um, but I don't know. I don't know where they are or where they went.
Oh, were you seen?
Not as far as I'm aware. I think I
All
was
right.
able to get away without being seen.
Well, we have to go out and try and find them if they're running from the city guard.
And we can try that now if you want, or I'm gonna go see Becky tomorrow, and I'd like some backup if you wouldn't mind coming with.
I don't mind coming with tomorrow, but I am going out to look tonight. Yoy?
Hmm.
Do you want to come out and help look, or are you going to stay here?
Um, I feel obligated to come and help, mostly because I feel like this is partially my fault. So, yes, I will come with you to come find the other two.
Okay. Baron's
I
going to
wish
start putting
you
on his armor.
I wish you luck. I'm gonna stay here because I'll probably only get into trouble out there.
Okay.
All right, so what's the plan of action? What's the step forward?
Once Glairon is armored up, what general part of the city were you in? Can you give me a description? Do you have an address, someplace where I can start looking?
Yeah, here's the address, and I'll give it to him.
All right. Then you take this kind of like sheet of parchment that one of them had probably scribbled on so that they didn't forget what part of the city and what house. And as you open it, your stomach does a little bit of a twist. You do know where this mansion is because you were at it this morning. You realize that the address that has been placed in front of you is the Lord's address. This is her residence. They were at the house of the Lord of Alinar Orin.
You know who you were sent to rob?
No. I mean, I figured it was someone important, but like, I didn't know who it was.
This address belongs to the Lord of Alinar Orin. What were you thinking?
That explains a lot.
I thought she said it was going to be easy. Referring to Becky.
I mean, it also pays a lot, so. Or, well, it was supposed to. We'll see what I can get for some of this shit.
You still have stolen goods on you?
I just fucking left. I just got back. What did you want me to do with it?
I don't fucking know. Not bring it here. I don't know.
We didn't even get the shit that we went for. Someone got it before we even got there. So I don't even know. We're probably not even gonna get paid for the fucking job. I gotta see what I can get for this other shit that I have.
Is that really your primary concern right now?
I don't think it's gonna do us any good to wander the city while with guards everywhere. Who knows where they are at this point? I figure if we can get Becky to work with us on this, we can get some more eyes out in some different places.
Honestly, with Becky being the one who sent you guys here, I'm not sure I trust her to help try and find them.
I don't have a better idea.
Fine. As it stands right now, you need to get rid of the shit that you stole. I'm going to go and see if I can find them. It needs to be gone before the night is out. If guards come and start searching our rooms and that shit is in here, we're all going to be in trouble.
Oh, yeah, whatever. We'll figure that out.
Think about it like this. The lovely receptionist out there knows that we had 2 dark elves with us when we came to check in, and she was talking to the guards. She's definitely not going to withhold that information. How long is it going to take for the city guard to make the connection to us, and then all of our rooms are getting searched, and that shit is found? That is happening tomorrow morning at the latest. It needs to be gone before the night is out.
I'll do what I can, alright?
All right. Claren's just going to shake his head and leave to go look for the other 2, I guess.
All right. Yoi, you're going with?
Yeah, Yoi will follow close behind, not saying anything about the situation.
Okay.
Can I be standing outside the room when they leave?
I mean, you're standing 6 feet away as they leave. You've just gotten your room key. You've just put down a down payment. We'll say 1 gold piece for a couple of days.
Okay. I can wipe that off. But if I get done before they leave, do I?
I mean, you can be receiving your key if you're wanting to slow roll it. But I mean, were you planning on just rushing into your room, or did you want to wait until they'd gotten out? Yeah, so you can be slow rolling.
If I can, if there's time, and it's not like I'm like rushing through it. I want to be standing. I want to be standing outside the wrong door. As in the door next to them, thinking it's their room. Realistically, I had no idea which room they went into, so this is my best guess.
Alrighty. I mean, it's not hard to get a key and pay for a room quickly, so absolutely.
Fantastic.
As the two exit from their room, about 3 to 5 feet away from you, across the door frame, Glarin, you can see this this individual standing at your door frame, not at Um's.
Mm.
Val, what are you doing?
I mean, just hanging out. What are you guys doing?
We're going on a walk.
Oh.
We're gonna be out probably for the next few hours.
Oh.
Yoi's gonna lean over to Glarin. Are we not going to take him with us?
Val, do you want to come with us?
I'd love to. Thank you.
Wonderful.
He just seems confused, and I am afraid to leave him by himself.
He's more than welcome to come with. He's the only reason I found out that those guards were looking for the other two.
Ah, okay. But does he know anything about anything else?
Not really, just that the two dark elves were part of our group and that we came here together.
You guys said we're going on a walk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I like walks. I'm pretty sure.
Wonderful.
Should we?
Glaren's gonna start moving towards the exit.
Okay. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Just, I like
Yoi's
walks.
gonna-
I think I do.
I'm gonna follow behind with a big old smile on my face.
Should we tell him what we're looking for?
Once we get a little bit further out of the inn, I would hate if someone in the inn overheard what we were talking about while we're trying to get before we even started looking.
Okay. Valdon.
Mm-hmm.
How about a game of I Spy a little later?
Okay. Wait, hold on. And he's just gonna start thinking hard again.
Okay.
I spy. I spy.
The three of you are
going on a walk. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. I spy. Okay.
the three of you exit the Fresh Flask Inn, and you step out into the cold evening air. You can hear just some like far off yells, not of like screams of terror or anything, but of like urgency of search parties and otherwise. I have to ask, where are the three of you planning on going? This is a large city.
It is. So we're gonna start at the unless Yoi has any input, my plan is to start at the address we were given, as close as we can get without like alerting the city guard, because I'm sure that whole area is just swarming with guards at this point.
Mm-hmm.
As close as we can get, and then just start searching around that.
JC, while we're out, can I keep an eye out for the special little glint?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say.
No,
I
by
don't
all
have any
means, you guys
arguments.
can interrupt me if you have thoughts.
Yeah, I think going to the address and avoiding as many. Well, I mean, we're not. I was gonna
I
say
don't think
we're
we're
not
gonna have as much
inconspicuous,
problem with
but
the guards. Like, if we're asked, we can just say we're out on an evening walk. I think we'll be fine.
unless they recognize Yoi from the wall, but I guess it kind of depends on what guards are where.
Yeah. I personally think we'll be all right.
Okay, no arguments then.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I get
Uh,
a straight D20 roll, by the way, as you guys head over to the Lord's address?
Can I interrupt?
Absolutely.
What is the like floor and ceiling situation
The
in
floor,
the room?
yeah, the floor and ceiling situation of your abode, there is standard floorboards, wood on the floor, and some sort of like singular, like kind of scraped over. You'd assume it to be some sort of um, like reinforced with metal wood, but it does seem to have like larger, like logs, log pattern across the ceiling for your room. The inn. The below you though is like standard floorboards.
Is there like space under the floor?
Would you like to pry up the floor and find out?
I would.
Okay. Do you have any implements to pry open the floor? Do you have like a crowbar? Do you have any tools?
Maybe. Let me. Uh, I have a quarterstaff.
Okay. Quarterstaff is a rounded bit, so that's not going to help you with prying, but it would help you as leverage once you've got them pried up.
The bit that fucking. He has my fucking knife.
He does have your knife. That's why I wanted to
Ah.
ask. What you got?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
All right. Unless if you want to break the floorboards, you do not have a way to just pry it open then. You're welcome to continue to think about that. As we move over. What did you
Yeah, come back.
what did you roll on that D20? I saw you roll it.
A 1.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. You actually wanted low on this one, so you're all good.
Okay, good. Oh man.
So, as you guys move through, you're able to just not casually, but feign casually avoid patrols of town's guard that you hear moving through, walking, and you can hear people stopping and asking people, we need to ask you a couple questions, please take a bit of your time. And you can hear people talking. I'm just, I didn't even know there were any in the city. Talking just kind of back and forth as you guys kind of maneuver your way through. You get to the street that you know the Lord's house is on. It's a street that you went to before today. How close do you want to get? Like, you look down this street and you can already see her house is currently about maybe 1,000 feet away. And you can see figures moving throughout. You can see that lights have been turned on. In this nicer section of the neighborhood, there are quite literally like small arcane like street lamps that are turned on as the like just with these kind of glowing dancing light-esque lights that light up the street. This kind of like kind of odd, not fire yellow, but like still like a daisy yellow almost, kind of like lights up the street.
Yeah,
And
I
you
don't
can
think
see
we need to get any closer than this if it's like swarming with guards at this point.
you can see at the moment there are about 24 guards around the building, and there is a larger, like kind of a bit taller, like he's standing not head and shoulders but head above the other guards, who's just kind of like standing back, like watching the building. And you see like someone else kind of walk up to him. The light is kind of bad right now, so you can't make out much, if anything, from this distance. It's just his silhouette is larger than the others, so it draws your attention to him.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we need to get any closer than this. I can't imagine they'd be hiding much closer than this, or even this close, so we can start looking. Around here, I guess.
All right. How would you like to be looking? Any of the three of you can chime in with how you'd like to look. Because you've gotten to this point about 1,000 feet away from this mess of guards searching around. And this is Glaren said, "This is close enough. Let's start looking. How would you like to look?"
I don't know what I'm looking for. I
Uh-huh.
have not been informed on what the game plan is.
100%.
So I'm just gonna stand.
Okay. So, back alleys, any kind of little hidey holes or anything that could be around there? Because I cannot imagine they would be hiding anywhere like on a main street. So, probably nowhere within 50 feet of a main street.
Okay. You do know that because this is kind of the richer section of the city, both behind where the Lord's mansion is, and on the opposite side of the street, there are alleyways where trash is normally placed to be collected from behind these massive houses. Would you like to start your search there? And if so, are you going to all three go to the one or the other, or are you going to split up? What's the plan?
My intention is to go to the one across the street because I don't think they'd hide out right behind the Lord's house. If Yoi has anywhere else she thinks they might be, we can also split up a little bit and try and search around.
Is there any other commotion like around? So obviously the house has probably got a bunch of guards around it, but is there like any other commotion that we can kind of follow, like if something else had happened?
I mean, there's just a lot of buzzing around the mansion right now. Like even like it spreads out onto the street from the mansion, and then off in the distance you can hear the calls of search parties. But it's definitely very concentrated at the mansion and like across the street from the mansion, just because it's right there at the epicenter, seemingly, of where it all happened.
Can I listen in and try to pinpoint any specific conversations that the guards might be having that would clue in to where they might have ran off to?
You are currently 1,000 feet away, and they are silhouetted with the light of the road, so reading lips aren't really a thing. You would have to get closer to listen in. They are you'd assume the people at the house are talking in normal conversation because they don't need to yell out to other search groups, and as such, their voices aren't traveling throughout the city like you can hear the calls from the search parties because they're yelling to be as loud as possible. These people, that larger silhouette that I was talking about, like one of the guards comes up to them, and you just see like a very just nonchalant turn of the head to address them, and it seems like they're probably talking at normal conversation level.
Okay. Glayrin, I'm going to try to get closer really quickly.
Okay, whatever you think is best. Just be careful.
And I do want to have Yoi sneak closer to try and get like a casual conversation. Basically, just trying to listen in without them being suspicious of her being around, I guess, if that makes sense.
Give it to me one more time of what your plan is. Sneaking on.
I want Yoi to sneak as close as possible to get the casual conversations that they would be having. Because I'd imagine that if they see her, it's going to end up being like, hey, what are you doing? And then we're not going to get anywhere. So I do want her to sneak and try to see if she can get any clue-ins.
Okay.
To where they might have.
Yeah. Let's this is gonna be a stealth check.
Okay. That is a 17.
Okay. I don't think. So there is a couple rolls.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 3 and a 9. And that is a 10 and a 1. So you're good from the guards that are looking. You are able to creep ever closer. Laren, Val, you watch this satyr just kind of dip into the shadow overcast of like the fences and hedges on the sides of these larger buildings. Every house on this street is minimum 2 stories, where most of the other houses have been 1 story, so there are longer shadows being cast. And she's using the arcane lights as points to avoid rather than points to guide her sight. And as such, you creep closer. You're able to cut the distance in half to 500 feet away. Still can't hear anything. You moved 400. You can hear some guards on the outer edges beginning to talk of these kind of 2 that are just sort of like looking for anything through some of the hedges in one of the houses on the same side of the street of the Lord's house. And you can hear one of them kind of adjust her helmet and just go, I just don't understand why they would be going after them. The lady wasn't present at the household. And there's another, you can hear kind of an older voice rise up to kind of meet her. Well, they don't strike me as the smartest people. And as such, they might have thought she was there. Or, even worse case, they thought that the butler was the Lord. Aren't smart enough to kill the right person. As such, the entire city's gonna jump down their ass. Yeah, I just don't see that, though. I don't... Everyone knows who the Lord is. If they were trying to kill her, they would just be watching. I don't buy it. There's one thing that you need to know about people living underneath the ground. Their eyes are basically blind. They can't see 2 feet in front of their nose. They wouldn't be able to stake out their house. They probably walked into the front floor, sniffed around until they caught a scent, and then stabbed at what they could see or even feel. I mean, I've never met one before, so... Yeah, it's... Look, if you remember those stories talking about blood drinkers Yeah, vampire. They're based off of the ground folk. Oh. Alright. And you can move on past that conversation as these two guards are digging through bushes.
How incredibly, yeah, okay. We're gonna sneak in a little bit more
Okay.
to see if I can find out something else.
Alright, if you push further, I'm gonna need another stealth check from you, as there is
Yeah.
more coming in.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty, to go further. 20. Ooh.
Ooh.
Got a 1 and a 2. A 5 and a 17. Ooh.
Getting closer.
They're getting closer. These guys had +1. As you creep even closer to the center area, you pass by other people kind of just searching through. You can now see, rather than just a silhouette, actual light accenting this larger individual's body and face. The larger silhouette is not wearing town guard armor of Alinar Orin. I would like you to make a history check for me, Yoi.
Oh man, I don't got no plus. Oh wait, no, I am so.
I was like,
hip.
how do
I
you
know
not
so
have a
much
plus to history?
Not me thinking about my other character. Oops. And 22.
22. You gaze upon this person. First and foremost, this is a high elf. You can see the just structured cheekbones. There's this kind of like lovely white hair that goes down over his shoulders that is very well kept. And these kind of glint of yellow light that kind of fills his eyes. That you're not sure whether it's from his eyes or the lights around him, but his armor is the bit that catches your focus. This deep magenta maroon mixture of armor that coats his body, both with massive shoulder plates, breastplate, and leg plating. It is inscribed with gilded gold lettering in Elvish of justice and mercy going up both sides of his stomach, respectively, and along and up by where his two pecs would be on the breastplate. You can see this kind of large, about golf ball sized ruby that has been inserted into the breastplate. And you recognize that this is armor patterned of an Inquisitor. The Inquisitors, for those in the know, are the elite specialized policing forces of the northern region. They have not normally been seen or known to go in even on the border between the northern and central regions. And so one being here is an oddity. But even more odd is the fact that you only see one. Because one thing that you do know above all else, Yoi, is Inquisitors always travel in pairs. And you immediately become a bit nervous that you can't see the other one.
Like it all? Like...
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, that fell off the table. It doesn't count because it fell off the table. You said perception?
Perception. You're looking.
19.
19. As you peer around, you can see this one perfectly fine. You look to see if maybe he's in the house, the mansion that's a couple 100 feet away from you. You look to see if he's like just obstructed by the group of people. There are nearly 20 guards kind of fanning out around this Inquisitor, and he is nowhere to be seen. Which means the other Inquisitor, wherever he or she may be, is not in your line of sight.
Is the Inquisitor saying anything?
Currently, as you have gotten there at this very moment, they are currently being told something. And as you listen in with that perception, you can hear this man go, well, fortunately, they were only able to subdue 2 of the people in the mansion, only 1 casualty inside the building. However, one of the guards ran through and lying cold in the alley. These people are murderers, and the trail's likely gone cold at this point. You see this elf kind of like nod their head slowly, and this large gauntleted hand kind of moves up to their chin. Well, the god's fortune favors us, as we will make ourselves the bold. These people, these parasites, are trapped like rats within these walls. We will find them. Make no mistake, Sergeant. And we will burn them out to save the rest of the city. Fear not. We will track them as they have been foolish enough to leave a trail. Unfortunately, it was that young boy. He'll provide us the information we need. You've done good work. And you see the sergeant kind of stiffen into a position of respect. Sir, there is no need. I walk the path all of us should aspire to. And he turns, and you see as he moves into the alleyway on opposite side of the street from the mansion.
Young boy. They're talking about a young boy. Am I making any connection?
I mean, that's kind of the only bit of context you have. You're allowed to try and make any connection.
Oh god.
You've got fragments, unfortunately.
Yeah, shit. Okay. Well, okay. I don't. I'm trying to debate if I want to get any closer and try one more time to see if I can get anything else. Would it be... Do I see other conversations happening further in?
I mean, you see people closer to the house on the other side of the street, closer to the mansion itself. Mm-hmm. And there is also the fact that the Inquisitor just went into that alleyway.
I do want to follow the Inquisitor. Can I sneak follow the Inquisitor?
You are more than welcome to.
Yay! Stealth?
Please.
That is a 18.
Okay.
Please, don't let him...
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what his passive is.
No, don't say that.
But you parse your way into the alley. And as you do, you slowly maneuver your way to where you have a sightline on where this taller than normal elf has went to. And as you kind of peer slowly around the corner, you realize that he is about 100 feet away from you, cutting about 150 to 100 feet off of where you had last seen him. He's gotten a lot closer, but he doesn't see you, as he's currently on one knee, bent down over onto over a body, which has a small blanket that has been pulled up to about the chest. You see the fallen form of someone wearing the town guard armor, a younger half-elven boy.
Okay.
You begin to hear him murmur and mutter, and you watch as his hand kind of moves over the boy's corpse. And you see two shades begin to glow. One looks to be kind of an outline of the blood across the boy's body. A stab wound that pulls down his face and splatters upward onto the front part of his neck. And the other in this cold blue shade of light. It looks like another bit of blood splatter that's on his sword lights up. And you can see small bits on the ground as the man's head slowly looks down to the sword and nods. And you swear you almost hear like a growl of affirmation come from the elf. What do you do?
um, it's a concentration spell. Speak with the dead, isn't it?
Speak with the dead. Why would you be asking me about speak with the dead? That's such a weird... It is not a concentration spell.
I didn't think so. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking like throw a rock at the back of his head and then he loses concentration. I don't know. Let me think here.
Not to egg you on, there are plenty of rocks.
Oh.
It is not a concentration spell, though.
What can I do? That Inquisitor's got to be high on health, man. I can't take that on by myself. No, that's not gonna work very well in my favor.
You got it, you say, sitting alone in the inn with your bag of treasure.
Yoi, I can give you some time to think on this. Think. We'll move over to Glairin and Val. As Yoi scampers off, are the two of you doing anything, or are you just waiting? If so, we can shift again.
Yoi is off doing her thing. Glairin is gonna, after checking to make sure, once we're in one of these alleys, Glairin will whisper in Val's ear, that we're actually looking for those two companions that Glairin told him about before, but we're trying to do it discreetly. And that's why we're over here.
Val's just gonna have like I don't know if you've ever seen anybody like you've watched them connect the dots. That's what's happening.
Okay.
It's just like like the people, and then the guards. Okay. So, do we know? Are we in the area? Like, do we know if they're close? What do we know?
No idea. I can't imagine that they went down to the southern part of the city, but the northern half is still super large. Mm-hmm. So my plan is to start as near as we are to the house, and then just keep expanding the search radius until hopefully we run into them. But we're not going to be able to do it faster than the guards. So all we can do is hope that one, the guards can't find them, and two, that we are better at looking for them than the guards.
Okay. And we have no leads on where they are.
Nothing other than they started here and then went somewhere in the northern half of the city.
Oh, okay. And I'm wherever Glaren decides to go, whatever he thinks is best.
Mm-hmm.
I was just gonna follow, just whatever. I'd just be, I guess, another pair of eyes, or if Glaren tells me to go this way or that way, I'll just do that.
Cool. I guess we're just gonna start searching the alleys in the area, and we'll just keep expanding. Glaren's just going to assume that Yoi will come and find them once she finishes with what she's doing.
All right. And you're going into the alley opposite street of the mansion?
Yes, we're going into the alley opposite to the mansion, and we're starting there. And then the idea is to just start doing a search pattern around it at about that distance, excluding areas like close to main roads and things like that.
Absolutely.
If there's any abandoned buildings that we run into, anything like that, those would also be searched.
Sounds good. Please, you can make an investigation check, the two of you.
Rolling dice on my dice rolling game. Oh, I love it. Oh, I have a good modifier as well. Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. It's not a natural one, I'll tell you that.
It's 2.
We do it when it's not a natural one.
Maybe.
Give
be
me what
2.
you got. It's a 2.
I got an 18.
Ah,
And
that
a
is more than a
17.
2 as well. 18 and 17.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. Could be better.
Well,
I would
okay.
roll for a random DC, but actually what you guys are looking for has a set DC in the book. So,
Okay, that's kind of crazy.
but since Jazz
Right?
has an idea, we're going to shuffle back to the person watching an Inquisitor work.
God, I'm so scared. Guys,
Yoi.
wish me luck.
Yoi, you are standing about 100 feet away from this Inquisitor, watching them brush their hand over this half-elven corpse of one of the Alinor Oren guard. 2 glows begin to appear, this yellowish glow from the stab wound that that he suffered on his chest, and then blue coming from his sword. What are you doing?
I want to hear his first question.
Okay. As this is phenomenal. Phenomenal. As you suddenly hear this oh, that's another interesting thing. No, don't worry about it.
Oh no.
No, don't worry about
What
it.
does that mean?
No. I had a thought, and then I decided you don't need to know.
Oh.
I explained with context clues. As you see him kind of like slowly place his finger to the boy's collarbone, and this kind of small breath be pushed down and drawn up, as you hear him very quietly just go, "What were the appearances of the bastards who ran you through?" And you see him lean his ear down close to the individual and kind of like listen very intensely for a moment as it looks like the body that is barely almost like a person who's being strangled and barely able to speak seems to like convulse. What is your... You can even make a perception check.
Okay.
Make a perception.
Yeah, I'll make a perception because I don't think my passive is very high. 19.
19. Hey, you're rolling good though.
I know.
As in a
Goodness, use my lucky
hoarse,
dice today.
in a hoarse whisper that you can barely hear from as far away as you are, you listen as a young voice of a young man with a kind of a choked hoarse voice describe a dark elf looking individual with a feathered cloak, armor under one shoulder, and a long, thin sword. Dark splotches of black around the eyes. Carrying another dark elf.
Okay.
And you see him nod. You said you were waiting until that.
Can I hear his second question?
If you want to.
I do. I do. I'm waiting for something very specific. Or, well, I guess not very specific. But, yeah, I want to hear his question and then, potentially, yeah, just, what is the second question real quick?
What is the second question? You see him kind of lean, like pull back to look down directly at this person, which body once again kind of like rudely like jolts as though they're someone who is struggling to breathe and in pain. And you hear his voice once again low. Where did the individuals come from? And you hear once again this kind of hoarse sputter. 3 from behind the Lord's house. You see him nod again.
I'd assume that this is probably just all common knowledge between all of the guards and everybody since they're still looking for them. Okay. And I'm going to assume that his next question is probably going to be something along the lines of if he saw where they went before he died, but I don't know.
That's up to you.
I don't.
He's about to ask the question. What you got?
If he asks the question, am I allowed to interrupt before he gets an answer?
You can certainly try.
You know what? Before he even gets to ask the third question, JC, what would I have to roll to pretend to be drunk?
Performance.
All right, drunk damsel in distress coming to save the day. Performance?
Please.
Okay. And that's a 21.
21. Here's an insight.
An insight?
Oh, he rolls an insight to see if he realizes.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to describe how Yoi stumbles outward as he begins to lean down over the body again?
Yeah, Yoi's going to just like kick her feet against the rocks. Oh my lord, that is such a pretty color. Sir? Sir?
Immediately you watch as his hand pulls away, the body relaxes again, and he pushes up. And you see his face kind of like change from like this kind of like serious, this serious face to like one of a charming smirk of a concerned hero of looking at you, and goes, well, I did not expect to get such wonderful compliments at such late an hour. What? And he steps forward, putting some distance himself between you and the body as he begins to rapidly close the distance between the two of you. And he goes, what in the plains are you doing out at this time of night? It's very dangerous here, young lady.
Dangerous? It can't be that dangerous. I suppose I have seen more guards out than normal this time of night.
You feel his hand kind of come and clasp your shoulder as he strides right up to you and goes, yes, there's a reason that there are so many guards out tonight. There are unsavory individuals about. By no means should anyone be walking these streets by themselves, least of all in the position you've found yourself in. It's very fortunate that you have ended up in safe company. Pray tell, where were you trying to go?
I suppose I'm just trying to find my way back to the inn that I'm staying in. Do you want to walk me home then, mister, since you're such good company?
Please make a persuasion check.
Yes! Where is... Okay. 16, 17, 19. There's a 19.
19. You look at this elven man as he looks down at you, and you, like, he betrays what you feel is normal elven stature. He has broad shoulders, accented even more because of the armor. He's quite tall, but there's no lankiness about his form. As his eyes look at you, he goes, and what kind of man would I be if I could not provide you with some sort of escort? However, my lady, I am quite tied up at this time of night, and I must implore you to come with me this way. As you feel his hand that was on your shoulder begin to very, very strongly lead you back to the main street where all the guards are.
As a last-ditch effort to just try my best to keep him busy, Yoi will hook her arm around his.
Okay.
Oh, but you can't possibly be too tied up to help me find my way back. I don't know the city too well.
You can hear the kind of like breath, and you can make an insight check.
Okay. Oh, that might not tell me anything. Insight 13?
13. You can see it's almost like it feels you feel like this kind of like almost welcoming aura kind of wash over you, this kind of reassuring reassurance that comes to you, then you kind of almost have to remind yourself that you're faking being in a point of distress, just being in his presence. And you see like this kind of sigh of, oh, what will I do with the poor people of this city? Kind of like vibe comes from this man, as he still gently but very like solidly pulls you into the main street outside the building. Goes, Sergeant, and you see several people kind of turn. I happened to find someone who has lost her way. If you would, please have a detail of no less than 3 guardsmen assist this lovely woman back to her inn. The night is very dangerous, tonight especially, and we'd love for no more dangerous things to happen. Please, I insist. And
What are the guards that he called forward? What are they? Can you give me like a brief description on what they look like?
you see 2 male elves. One looks to be a full wood elf. One looks to be a wood half elf. And then there is a female high elf that have kind of moved. You can see the 2 wood elf kind of move to be next to you as he gently but very... you can feel the strength from his hand prise your arm off of his as he clasps your hand that you had around his arm between his 2 larger gauntleted hands. I pray that you remain safe tonight. And he releases your hands, and you can feel the guards like take another half step towards you as he is going to stride past you, walking back towards the actual mansion, not going back into the alleyway.
Okay. Just to really sell it. Just I don't want to go with these ugly men. And a woman as well? You're really going to let me go with these 3 instead of taking me yourself? That's not very gentlemanly, sir.
I will have to make it up to you. I apologize. As he gives like this small, like almost like a parent to like a parent would do to like an older child that is told to like pull away their younger sibling, to the guards, and you can feel the 3 of them kind of move over, and the woman kind of like sets her hand on your shoulder. If you could please let us know which inn you're staying at, we'd be happy to escort you back.
She looks to the woman and she says, just one moment. Can I at least get your name, sir?
You can make a persuasion check.
Yeah. Need all the info that I can get. 22.
22.
Sorry. Yeah, no, 22.
Okay. That's not bad. Oh, interesting.
Uh-oh.
As this larger man kind of like looks back over his shoulder. You can feel his eyes look at you one last time before just this small smile come across his face. Believe me, if the gods will it, we will see each other again. No need for names. Have a wonderful night, ma'am.
Okay. With that, she'll turn to the guards and Gosh. What was the name of the inn that we're staying at?
The Fresh Flask.
She'll tell the guards, I need to head back to the Fresh Flask, please.
Of course. And you have a 3-guard escort back to the Flask.
Awesome. And then once they do drop her off, I'd imagine it's going to take some time. She is going to scuttle back to try and find Glarin and our blue homeboy, whose name is slipping my mind right now, Valdon.
It's okay.
Yeah. She's going to, like, sprint to try and find them as soon as she's escorted back, and they obviously leave. But again, that's probably going to take some time, so if you need to cut to anybody, go ahead.
Absolutely. We're going to cut over to the 2 people investigating. As you both are searching around, that's the thing, is you're trying to find any sense of a building being abandoned. You're trying to find any sense of things being misplaced in the near dark, in the shadows of the alleyways. The alleyways do not have these supported lights.
What if you have something maybe called dark vision?
I mean, you're able to see better, but
Fantastic.
things get lost, especially when you're seeing in black and white with dark vision.
Yeah, and fair enough.
You're just very happy to say that for the first time, and I know you are.
Because you know what? It's something that I have, and it's useful. So
It is.
even if it's like mostly not, I have it.
However, unfortunately, as you guys look, none of the houses here seem to be abandoned, and there's nothing in the alleyway that would denote where your 2 allies have been. The only thing that seems to be good about that is if you 2 are having a difficult time, you can only hope that the guards are also having a difficult time finding anything. As night quickly fell, and with the absence of light is the absence of clear evidence. Are you going to restructure? Head somewhere else? What is the plan past the investigation of this area? About 1,000 feet away from the scene of the crime.
I think I kind of want to, like, this might be tough. This might be difficult.
It might be difficult.
But might be difficult
I believe in you.
to put the pieces together. Anyway. But if I can,
If you could.
I'm assuming I don't know this, but if the guards are smart, if they have a brain, they're gonna try and like reconstruct what happened. And so if I can, I would also like to try and do the same thing. Is follow maybe from like the manor, if there are bodies outside, look at the bodies, look at the direction in which, okay, manor, the body is north, see if there's blood on the ground. Like, I just want to see if I could do what they're doing, but better.
So that's the big thing, is you can't really do what they're doing unless if you want to go up to them. That's the difficult part. Because you are currently cut off from the crime scene as a whole. You guys are 1,000 feet away. You don't even really know how badly the burglary has gone beyond what said, and you don't know that at all. You just know that something's gone wrong.
Yeah, I just know I'm looking for people. That is a good point.
Yeah. As such, you're not sure what you'd be able to find from a crime scene. As far as you're aware, because you're not an illogical person, you are very logical in how you operate. It seems a little, and you even pull it. This thought comes to your mind almost like unabated. You are doing the equivalent of looking for a needle in a haystack that is the size of an acre of land in the dark.
Yeah.
and the needle is
That sounds about
actively
right.
hiding from you.
Yeah, that adds up. And there's like we just haven't found anything.
No, at this point, there is nothing that you guys have found.
Well, Glayron, what do you think? You seem to know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know. My plan was just to keep looking and keep expanding the radius until we found it. Like I said, avoiding the main streets. How could I narrow this down more?
As you have
I'm
that
assuming
thought, as you have that thought, both of you hear approaching armor. I would like a stealth check from both of you, if you would
Oh, shit.
mind.
Yeah. Good thing that modifier is average. Oh fuck. Oh no.
Oh, fuck indeed. We'll see how it
Hey.
goes on.
Could be worse.
Oh, fuck. Could be worse, but not by much.
Nah, mine could be worse. It is worse than last time.
Please let me know.
5.
Oh.
Cool.
Mine doesn't seem as bad in comparison. I got an 11.
Cool.
We're rolling with disadvantage because of the armor, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
As both of you see this, you immediately kind of like stand up straight, just enough to immediately become silhouetted of the group of guard that are moving through to you're not too sure, but as you even look as there are 3 guards right now with another individual with them, and even as you look, you see your companion Yoi flanked by all 3 of them. One of them, a female, has her hand on Yoi's shoulder, and as you look, a wood elf in town guard kind of like peers out. What are you doing? Please stay where you are. And he kind of like starts heading over, walking the distance. What are you doing out this late?
Just out for a nighttime stroll. We saw the commotion over here and decided we might take a peek to see what was going on, but we were just heading back.
Make a deception check.
On it.
You have to beat a 12.
15.
Hell yeah.
As he kind of looks, what in for Belle's good name would cause you to walk when there's such a commotion happening? When the guards are moving around, that would be an indicator to stay inside, would it not? You seem like you have a level head upon you. You couldn't have told this your companion to stay indoors? Gesturing, like nodding towards Val.
Well, I wasn't sure what exactly the nature of it was, and I figured he'd be safe enough as long as he was with me.
Honestly, I don't see anything wrong with what we're doing. And I'm gonna like look around and say, what crime is there?
All right. No one was incinerating anything uncouth happening. You were out in a dangerous bit of time, and honestly, we're gonna ask you a couple questions since you were rooting around in the alleyway. How far have you even been going? You said you were about to return to your place. Where would that be?
Well, we're staying at an inn called the Fresh Flask.
The woman who has her hand on Yoi's shoulder. Oh, that's quite the coincidence. We're actually escorting this young woman to the Fresh Flask. You are encouraged to join us.
And if I don't want to?
Now, I don't see any issue with us accompanying them back to our inn.
Yes, please give your companions some much needed guidance. They seem a bit lost. You are encouraged to accompany us as we escort then 3 of you back to your inn.
Of course.
At least one of you are reasonable. And he gestures for the 2 of you to join the group.
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine.
Is there
Mhm.
is there a way I can try and make like a active investigation check on our way out, just to see if I can? I mean, I think they're leading us to the main road, but
Yep.
I mean, I think anything at this point would be helpful.
I mean, I'll give you one more investigation real quick as you're walking from the
Okay.
connection between the alleyway. Give her a go. Give her a
Oh.
spin.
It doesn't.
Did you get a 20?
You know,
DC,
I would say it could be worse.
DC 20.
It simply could not be worse.
Oh,
I got a
19.
natural 1
Unfortunate.
for a total of 4. That's
yeah.
right.
I'm very proud of you.
What can I say? What can I say?
What can I say?
Now I know what dice I'm not going to use tonight. This one's
Mhm.
going over here. Fantastic.
All right. Well, the 3 of you are escorted back to the Fresh Flask Inn. Some grumbling from the guard, and possibly some grumbling from at least 2 of the people. Glaren, you might be trying to not make the situation worse and not joining your companions in grumbling about the situation. But they do deposit you within. They do walk you into the inn. And with a quick look around, you all have a safe night. The Wood Elf
And
kind
you
of
too.
nods. Keep him out of trouble.
Thank you again for the escort.
With that last phrase of keep him out of trouble, the 3 guards leave. And the 3 of you are back at the Fresh Flask.
Can I do something while they were gone?
100%. What you got?
What is like the mattress made of?
The mattress is this kind of like you kind of like pull the fitted sheet off of it, and it's this kind of like leather with, and as you kind of pull it open, there are these kind of like shredded feathers within. It's by no means a bad mattress. It's just not the finest in the land.
Is there like a fireplace in the room or no?
There is not. The fireplace that you've
Okay.
seen is in the
I think
dining
so.
area.
Okay. I'd like to take one of the like pillowcases off of the pillow, and I want to stuff it full of feathers from the mattress, and I want to put the backpack of all of the stolen goods
Mm-hmm.
in the mattress. Hopefully having cleared enough space with all the feathers I put in the pillowcase.
Okay. Honestly, easy enough to do. You store
Is
the
there-
goods.
Is there a closet in the room?
No, there's just a small locker. Like foot locker.
Okay, I'll just put my pillowcase of feathers in there.
Okay.
And that's all I wanted to do.
Okay. So, we'll pull back to the three that have just been placed back into the fresh flask. You've been foiled in the immediate bit. What is next, if anything?
How did you end up with the guards, Yoy?
She.
I am back.
Oh, nice.
Kind of. Sorry.
No, you're all good. I was about to get you. You're all good.
I have a child with a bottle on my shoulder right now, but I am back. What's going on?
So, you were in the process of being escorted back when these two were spotted snooping through the alleyway.
God damn it.
Glaren lied and said that they were going on a walk and were on their way back. Where they asked where, they said the fresh flask, and they went, "What a coincidence, we'll walk you back." And as such, all three of you have found yourself back in the lobby of the Fresh Flask Inn.
Where the fuck go, guys?
You were with
you.
the guards too.
You asked Yoy how
She ended up with the guards, yes.
Are they gone? Out of earshot?
They've just left through the door. And basically, the second that happened, Glaren kind of spun around on his heel and asked you his questions.
So, they lost the trail for the other two. Glaren,
Yes.
you know what an inquisitor is, yes?
Glaren's expression will kind of darken at the mention of them. Yes, they've been increasing their presence in town as of late.
Charming fellow. Wouldn't even tell me his name. However, there was only one.
That can't be good.
I followed him into an alleyway, where he found... Let me back up really quickly. There's a dead butler. And apparently savagely murdered. Something about vampires and ground folk, but then the Inquisitor followed him into an alleyway, and he was speaking with a young soldier about who had killed him, and it sounds like our lovely pair were sadly the causes. But before he could ask where they went, I swooped in and tried to gather as much as I possibly could, but again, charming man, wouldn't tell me a thing.
I can't say I'm surprised. Well done stopping them from determining where our companions went. Unfortunately, we didn't have much luck figuring that out ourselves before we were stopped by the same guards.
I apologize. I didn't think that they would, I didn't think that they would, stop you as well.
No worries. I'm not sure how much more we'd be able to get done tonight anyway.
Well, all right. Do we have to go back out, or...
I don't know if we should. I might examine a map of the city tonight. Maybe see if I can remember any specific parts of this half of the city that might be more apt to housing a couple runaways. But as of now, there's no way to narrow down the search.
Can I go ask the secretary, attendant, whoever it may be, if, well, because the guards came in earlier that same day, right? How long ago was that?
Probably at this point, since you guys had been walking over to another quadrant of the city and such, maybe about an hour, hour and a half. Like, it's into just straight night now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the moon is out, the sun is fully down. Night.
Can I ask if more guards have come through? Like, I'm just kind of worried that something might be going on, so I just like kind of want to be in the know. And I will, if I am allowed, I would like to roll persuasion so that I make sure that they tell me.
Sure. Absolutely.
Not using that dice. Okay. Could be worse. 11.
11. You walk up to this elven young woman that's kind of at the counter, her head kind of like slightly in her hand. I mean, why do you care about the guards and whether they're coming in? Are you doing something you shouldn't be?
I've been here for just a few hours, and I've paid for my room. Listen, if there's something going on, I want to know about it, so I don't get wrapped up in it. I just want to be here for my time and get on with it. But if there are problems around, then I'll go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else then. There's no my problems. Guards are keeping the street safe, so just stay off the street for the night. I'm saying there's bad things happening in the street. Who am I to say what's happening in the street? I just say, yes, sir. And I don't put my ass out on the street like an idiot.
Well, that's why I'm asking if they're in here, because I know they're on the street. I was just out there. That's why I want to know if they're in here, because if there's stuff happening in here, I don't want to be here.
No, there's no guards in here.
Does it seem like she's telling the truth?
Make an insight check.
Okay, honestly, could be worse. 16.
Everything is could be worse, or this is the worst.
Could be worse. It either could be worse or it can't be worse.
You look at this girl's kind of dull, tired eyes, and she's not hiding anything. She's just tired and does not want to deal with you, and doesn't feel the need.
Either.
Doesn't feel the need to deal with you in any polite way.
And for her I don't know if I want to say, like, she wasn't super nice about it, but for her troubles, I don't know if she can use this, but I will put a flask of oil on the counter and slide it towards her as like a, because I'm not giving her a gold piece. She doesn't deserve that. That's too much. But I will give her a flask of oil as kind of a peace offering, I guess.
You see her eyebrow kind of raise in confusion. She doesn't say anything further.
Does she take it?
But it's just on the table now. She kind of looks at it, looks at you, raises an eyebrow.
I mean, like, I'm gonna reach across the table and scoot it to her more until it's like on the very edge.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
just
it's
can't get
touching
any
the
closer.
it's touching the elbow that she has on the table.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And I just kind of want to stand there for a minute.
She does not
just look
move
at
from
her.
her post.
And then I guess I'll remember that there are people here that I know. And I'll say, all right, thank you. And turn around and go back to them.
Okay. So, from Team Fresh Flask, is there any more plans?
I'm
wanna go to bed.
assuming I have a map of the town in the last 2 months that I've been here, so I know where I'm going.
Yeah, you know about any
Um,
general points. Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go over that to see if there's any spots that spark a thought that they might be hiding there.
See,
Maybe any like slightly worse portions of the northern region, places where there might be abandoned buildings, things like that.
you kind of trim over this bit. Give me an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence.
Okay. Oh, the dice was kind. 19.
19. As you kind of like parse over it, you first realize one thing. Any notable spot that is marked on the map would not be accommodating towards dark elves. And as such, it cannot be any notable spot on the map. 2, in the nicer regions, everything that is even not necessarily lived in, if it's like a summer home or something else, would still be upkept in the nicer region by maids or butlers. And so it wouldn't be about finding an abandoned house. It'd be about finding a place that doesn't see a lot of foot traffic. But that, it's too general. It's like asking to find like it quite literally is asking to find a unused shed in a city of like tens of thousands of people. And as such, this is going to be a long task, and you worry that it's already too late as you are going up against unknown amounts of guards from this town.
Okay.
All right. Anything left from the people of the Fresh Flask? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
What is my room like? Is my room interesting?
I mean, it's standard of what everyone else has done. It is a footlocker at a about twin XL bed. A small window that lets you see out the back, where you can see where the bathhouse is off to the right, closer to where the dining hall is, and just more houses of the city. This is actually more of like the shops and such, but that's besides the point. And it's just a very plain but very clean room.
Well, before I sleep, I'm gonna play my lyre for a little bit.
Okay.
And then go to bed.
As you have gotten a lyre, maybe, possibly, faintly through these walls, these people might hear a couple stray notes coming from your instrument. And Yoi, your chance to speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. With that, we are pulling away from the inn and moving over back to the northeastern section of the town. Two people, both trying to comfort each other and themselves from what just happened. It has been a couple hours of both of you intense waiting, unable to immediately fall asleep as the adrenaline coursed through both of you unnaturally long. If there's anything you'd like to be doing tonight, please do so. Otherwise, we'll be moving forward to the morning.
After laying there for a little bit,
Short rest him out because I gained my spell slot already, so we're here for at least an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 hours. So more than enough time for a short rest.
after the time has passed, then I'll sit up and kind of, well, we should probably get out of this side of town before the heat comes around that corner.
I know one more place in the southern district we could hide, but we'll have to get our things from the inn, unfortunately.
Do you even know how to get south from here? I'm so turned around at this point. I don't know which way's up.
You let me worry about those things. Just keep your eye out and keep your pace steady. And at this point, I believe Ophelia was laying down on the ground. She's gonna like extend her hand like forward, like above her head, and you see the spider inch out from underneath her cloak once more. And I'm gonna use this to patrol the area as best as I can to see if it's a good time to start moving.
Okay. With that, you are able to use your familiars to see the waves of guard traveling in anywhere from groups of just 2 to a group of a half dozen. Patrolling through, doing call-outs, all of these. A lot of guards do, during this time, pass to go towards the mansion that you two ransacked. But there are still others moving in other directions. And you are going to be able to time this to at least immediately when the two of you leave this shed, if you decide to. Do so when no guards are there.
How much stuff do I need to remove from the bag to put Ophelia back in the bag? I have 3 necklaces, 5 bracelets, a ring, 4 glasses that are presumably broken, which I'll leave for our host.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look, see if they're broken. What's broken in here?
The glasses
I'll open the backpack.
The glasses were what shattered when you fell.
Okay, so I'll definitely take those out then.
Okay, the glass kind of clutters onto the workbench that you kind of dump it out to kind of survey things. If I remember correctly, you said you had the paintings in there as well? No?
I didn't have them in mind, no.
Okay, good to know. All right. I mean, it's a big thing of. So give me the rundown once again.
3 necklaces, 5 bracelets, a very basic ring.
Okay. I think
That'll fit in your pockets.
Well,
I do have a pipe in my pocket and 4 badges. I'll leave the badges behind because they were going to be for a bit, but I almost died. So
he almost died for the bit.
You should keep those. They may come in handy later.
All right, I'll keep the badges.
All right. I think the biggest thing is the shifting of the bracelets, because Ophelia does take up quite a bit of room of the backpack. And so you can stomp down on the ring and the necklaces, but the bracelets are made of like larger kind of panels. They're not like thin, dainty bracelets. They're larger statement bracelets, and so those ones would probably have to be removed from the bag to safely fit your companion.
What if I put them on?
You could.
I was about to ask that.
You could.
If it stops them from moving around, I'll put on these gaudy pieces of jewelry.
All right. You set one at a very close to your hand on your wrist. Set one further up on your arm, and then set one kind of to the maximum opening to basically run them up your one arm that you have. Getting this experimental armor. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this going to cause any problems for me later?
I would say at the moment, let me check. I'm gonna roll. Actually, Helmini, I'll have you roll a luck check. Give me a d20 roll. Let me know the number.
That's a 19.
It's a 19. You kind of like feel it around. They will become problematic later, but as of right now, still got the dredges of adrenaline kind of coursing through you, about to spike back up as you're preparing to go outside. They shouldn't cause any issue. It's just not a sustainable way to hold on to the jewelry.
We'll deal with it when we get my bag and all that from the inn. All right. Did I didn't need to get any HP from my short rest. I got a spell slot back. Did Ailing get any HP back from that short rest? I know he was a little light.
Yeah, I'm back to max.
Okay. So with a mixture of scouting with the spider. Oh, I do have one more thing. Is there like a little just pouch around here I could grab, like with some seeds or something I could just dump out? Take the pouch.
Make a perception or investigation check.
I'll go with investigation.
Okay.
Because I can.
Because you can.
14.
14. Not for seeds, but you do see like a little. It looks like one of those like small leather fold over pouches that have a small button to clip it. That looks like something that someone would put onto a belt. And you clip that open, it looks to have like some nails in it.
I'll dump this out like underneath like a work table, and I'm gonna tell Aelin to like get as much of that crystal glass as he can in here. And as we're walking, we're gonna kind of scatter it to like throw off our trail.
Okay.
Okay, I think I see where you're going with this. I'll scoop it into the bag.
All right. The two of you have this plan. Where are you planning on traveling?
We're going to have to get to the inn just to see if we're able to get our things.
Okay.
And then, depending on how that looks, we're going to make our way to the other hiding place I know. And I think once I hit the inn, I'll have a better idea of that.
All right.
But with the mixture, scoping it out with the spider, using the glass, and I have something fun in my pocket. I have enhanced dark vision. Mine goes out 120 feet.
Indeed.
So use that as you will.
I will.
And let's get to work.
All right. Gonna roll a quick encounter. Aha. You guys begin to move out through here. Both of you can hear the guards kind of yelling, looking around, but you are able to kind of move yourself a little bit more discreetly due to your spider. And as such, we are actually going to have a bit of a roll here. Since you guys are moving quietly, cautiously, Aelin, you'll get to make a stealth check. You will also get to do it with advantage due to pre-spotting with the spider. As such, you will have advanced warning when guards are moving past.
Very cash money. Oh my gosh. Already, the first roll of the night I get to do this?
Nice. I think you're going to do just fine. You were
Don't
muted.
say that.
You were muted when you said that.
Yeah, you're gonna kill me.
No. Jazz probably thought I was gonna kill her. She got
real close.
He
was given Lenny vibes to Curly's wife. Could have been bad.
I don't know. I just got to see 3 people physically recoil on camera when he opened his mouth for the first time, so.
Yeah, it's the Inquisition. Nobody wants to deal with it. They called the Inquisition on me, bro.
Did they? Okay. Well, the two of you begin slowly, cautiously pushing your way through. As every once in a while, you do have to stop, hide in the shadows, as any number of guards push past you, and then you move again. At this point, it is very slow going, and as such, when you actually do arrive across the street from the Fresh Flask Inn, it is beginning to coast into the next day. You know innately, just from kind of your inner clock, that in a couple hours the sun is going to be rising. I would like both of you to make a Constitution saving throw. See someone.
They were the best of times, JC, and they were the worst of times.
Nice.
That is a natural one.
Unfortunate.
13.
13. Ophelia, you are okay, which makes sense because you're being carried as Aelin, I assume, like, we know you've donned your armor, you've put back on the backpack, and all of this, including the adrenaline that has surged into your body and left your body and sort of come back as you kind of were hyping yourself up to travel, is beginning to slowly seep out of your form in the cold morning air. You take a level of exhaustion. It means all ability checks that you make while exhausted are at disadvantage. As the two of you are not even 80 feet away from the entrance of the Fresh Flask, Ophelia, you can see the sweat kind of running down Aelin's face. His breath, while still quiet, is getting heavier. This is draining on your companion. But, as such, please make me a perception check of the Fresh Flask, Ophelia. Either you, as both of you are looking at it, or you can send in your spider to look closely. They become different DCs.
I'm doing both, because the spider has to go in, so...
Okay.
What would you like me to roll? I'm sending the spider in, so I guess I'll just roll that perception.
Roll the spider's perception.
That is a natural 20.
Natural 20. Not
A total of
bad.
24.
Does in fact beat the 15 we were going for. As you kind of set in, you kind of move around the outside of this place. And you notice, even though when your spider looks underneath the door, you don't see anyone wearing the town guard vibe. Most of the people in the dining area have moved off. There's just a couple people drinking in the morning. Poor souls. But as you move around towards the bathhouse, you actually do see a couple people in town guard uniforms slinking about. One of them being in a wood elf in town guard armor, and the other being a half wood elf, seemingly patrolling around this area.
Cover's done here. I am going to send the spider into the inn, and do I have enough to get to room?
You would have to get across the street to where the inn is, onto the side. Then you'd have enough to get into their room. At the moment, going through the front, you do not have enough to go past the reception desk over into the back wall where your guys' rooms are. You would have to go across the street.
It said it's going to be day in a few hours.
Yes.
Is the sun is still down? Like, do I still have the cover of night?
You still have the cover of night at the moment.
I'm going to use Mage Hand to undo these, like, bracelets. and I'm gonna have to put my body on the line. I'm gonna have to stealth over to the thing and try to get on.
You're currently up a couple feet in the air in the backpack of Aelin. How'd you like to address this?
I'm gonna whisper from inside and saying, I'm gonna try to get attention with the spider, but I need to be closer.
Okay, would you? And I'll kind of start to like drag my way across, like trying to get her closer.
There's guards behind the back by the bathhouse. A few of them. You said 2 of them, correct?
2.
It seems they're patrolling the area. Does it look like they know that this is where we've been, or are they just kind of like walking through?
They don't seem to have too much intention behind their steps. So you'd assume immediately that they don't know.
Could I wait a moment for them to pass along, or are more guards going to funnel through? It's just going to kind of have to be what it is.
You have no idea.
All right. I don't have anything on me that would make this work any better. It's gonna have to work. How do you feel about trying to stealth across so I can get to and get some help?
We can sure try.
If an active perception check happens, I would like to be aware of it.
Okay. Please. You would need to make, and because of the Ophelia and Spider situation, you would have advantage. It is now down to a normal stealth check. Because of the disadvantage from exhaustion. Here we go.
$15.
The DC is 13.
We fucking got there, dude. We got there.
Oh, we won't be undone just yet. We gotta do this quick. As we get closer, I gotta get this spider. I'm popping out the gift for those in the back channel again, because I'm gonna keep using it until the wheels fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go get
All right. As you dart over to the building adjacent to the fresh flask, you step and kind of heave a sigh as Ophelia doesn't hear it, as her eyes and ears are a part of her familiar. As you get the extra distance you need and scurry to quarters. Have you been trying to sleep, or you kept up? For reference, this has been about 3 or 4 hours since Glaeren had told you to hide everything.
That's revisionist history. He told me to get rid of it.
Shh, you're revising it, not me.
And I am trying to sleep.
Okay. So Ophelia, your familiar is able to parse underneath the door easy enough, and you can see the room is very dark, with a silhouette barely visible on the bed. They seem to be asleep.
I'm gonna have the spider crawl on them and try to wake them up.
How are you planning on waking them up with a spider?
Put it in the ear.
Yeah, you're gonna hate this. It's going in your ear.
Make a constitution check or perception check, your choice.
Okay.
Let me
Con or
con check, no saving throw, or perception check. Your choice. Just let me know which one.
I'm gonna do con. Or
4. That is terrible as you feel this kind of like itch or tickle or tingle on the inside of your ear canal, and you just shudder awake.
If Alma's not geeking the fuck out, I am gonna have the spider come out and try to get her attention.
I mean, I'm gonna reach towards my ear and figure out what that's about.
Okay. You reach up to your ear and you feel the fuzzy, fleshy thing of like a slightly large spider. Just on the side of your head.
I mean, it's gonna crawl onto your hand and try to get your attention if you're touching it.
As you touch it, it spins around and you feel it grasping onto your hand.
I'm gonna try to do that tap thing to make it seem like this is not like an actual like spider, but like there's like intention behind it, and it's really up to decide how that works.
I'm gonna take the spider. There's like a window in the room, right?
Yeah, there's the window that you shuttered.
Sweet. I'm just gonna point the spider to the window.
All right.
Like trying to let it go, thinking it's just a normal spider.
No, I'm like presenting the window, like while it's in my hand. It's like showing the window so that maybe you can see the window.
I can see the window. What are we attempting here? Can I see myself? Like, can I see Aelin from this window?
No, these windows are on the back side of the building, looking basically from the backside between where if you tilted your head, you can see the wall of the wash house. And so they're showing you is like this is there's a window with access from the back of the building. You also know that that's where the 2 guards are currently patrolling.
I don't.
Yeah,
The
doesn't.
spider's gonna kind of like step to the side, like, and like a shaking head gesture as best as it can, like on the windowsill, like to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and then kind of skitter down the wall and kind of leave the room from under the door, expecting to follow.
The spider leaves the room after shaking from left to right. What are you doing, if anything?
I don't want to, but we'll follow.
All right. You peel your door open and kind of track the spider heading back towards the front door.
I'm gonna lead to us, and as she's getting closer, I'm gonna tell Aelin to like slink back into the shadows a bit. We gotta hide until gets to us. But if we're safe here, we'll just wait here while she comes
Okay.
to talk to us.
All right. Are you heading outside?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alrighty. You follow this arachnid over to the building to the right of the Fresh Flask Inn. And as you do, kind of sequestered away off to the side in shadow, you can see Ophelia, whose eyes kind of shift back into being her own, and Aelin, who is sweating heavily. The two of you see arrive on the street. Look over and notice the two of you.
Oh, it's nice to see a familiar face.
Glad to see you two made it.
Is it who's in the tavern? Is it safe to come in? We need some privacy away from prying eyes.
I didn't see any guards inside, did I?
No guards inside.
I didn't see any guards. I know some of our companions are inside, but
There's guards back by the bathhouse. That's why we couldn't come in through the back. They're patrolling the streets in such large numbers. It's not safe for us to be in this part of town anymore. But we couldn't leave without our things, and Aelin's not gonna hold up to get me into town. So we had to come and get you.
okay, so what do you want to do?
First, you're gonna have to bring our things out, and then I'm assuming some of our other companions have returned. One of them can help get me to the southern part of town. And we'll have to wait.
Okay, well, do you have your room keys?
We didn't leave with anything. I guess we would have them.
Mm-hmm.
I
You'd have
guess so.
to.
I hope so. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Locked safely in the room.
Yes. Damn, we locked ourselves out of our room.
Right.
Yeah, but Aelin's able to procure the 2 room keys.
Okay, I'll be back. I'll see what I can do for another set of hands.
And we did have that, like, those crystal glass shards that we were kind of throwing the trail off. I don't want those to be overlooked. We were doing something
Okay.
to try to buy time.
Scattering some glass.
Do I see any party members on my way to get their stuff?
None in the open. Everyone had retired at this point. Everyone had gone to their rooms. And unless if you wanted to knock on something, nothing's available at the moment.
Okay. I'll just grab their stuff and return.
Okay.
And I'll offer to help bring Ophelia down south.
Okay. If
And
Mhm.
I believe this means to you, or this belongs to you, and I'll pull this small knife out of my pocket and give it back.
Thank you, and I'll take the knife and I'll put it away somewhere.
Logistics question. I would like to put my stuff back in my backpack.
Okay.
I guess, how are we handling Ophelia?
That's the question.
Yeah.
Your things are just gonna have to go in her pack, and you're just gonna have to hand over your backpack.
Okay. I guess in that case, the idea I'll re-equip my shield, or at least have it in close vicinity, so if I need it, I can whip that bad boy out in combat. But everything else will go in Ophelia's back.
Something too.
All right. So, if two of you are going southward, Aelin, what's becoming of you? Are you going there as well? Are you staying?
Yes. I would like to follow them.
Okay. We're gonna do a final group check. Ophelia, are you gonna scout ahead again?
Our spider scout,
All right.
our bravest soldier.
Bravest soldier. As you assist with Ophelia, the group is able to do a bit of a group stealth check. Aelin, you'd be at disadvantage, but with this you go to normal. You'll get to make it at advantage.
That's such a tease. I rolled an 8. Well, 5 plus 3, so an 8.
Okay.
22.
All right. Helpful enough.
An active perception check is being made by something I can see. I need to know that. I have silvery barbs queued up. I am ready to unleash the reckoning if they were within 60 feet of me.
Mm-hmm. I'm just rolling for some counters real quick.
Okay. Oh Lord, I'll kill. I'll kill a
wolves.
million. I'll kill a million guards just to go to sleep in a cellar.
Please.
There's going to be 2 encounters with guards.
Oh.
One of them is a group of 2. As you guys have made your stealth, I'm going to roll their perception as they are searching. 2 active search. One of them is a 7. The other one is a 14.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do something about that.
Okay.
Silvery barbs, and I'm gonna give Aelin the advantage.
Okay. That changes it.
What does that mean?
To a 7. 2 7s
Okay.
for the guards.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh,
Tired.
Now, as you pass there, you guys are able to make a second stealth check. Aelin now has advantage. Still has advantage. Roll one more time.
I've got one arm. How much carrying do you need me to do?
18.
18.
13.
I'm rolling real low on these d12s. There's only 3 guards for the second encounter. We have a 10, a natural 1, and a 19. As the 3 of you are moving around, you see this group of guards kind of begin to move through, and as 2 of the Elven guards kind of make their way, one of them, a final one, who, as he even kind of peers out, doesn't look Elven. His face looks a little bit more rounded and less angular. His eyes a little bit less sunken into his face. This guy looks more human as he kind of peers over and looks like he sees something in the shadows of the side street. The other 2 begin kind of breezing past. He stops and slows and looks over. One of the guards that didn't notice anything, kind of looks back at this individual, goes, "What are you looking at?" "I'm not sure." "Is someone there?" And each of you freeze in place behind this small store building that you guys were walking behind. Something got noticed. What would you like to do?
How long does it take to shift?
How long does it take to shift
For the changeling.
an action?
Ophelia's gonna quickly whisper to the maid.
Hello?
What?
You become the maid. Talk to him as the maid. They're only looking for dark elves. Be the maid.
Okay. I'll shift into the maid.
Okay. Still within your cloak and such, you shift into this form of an elven woman. Come out now.
We're just going for a walk.
Hi. I'm gonna kind of step out.
Okay, I assume you're putting down Ophelia.
Yeah.
Okay, you set down the bag with Ophelia, kind of step outwards. What are you doing out this late? It's bloody almost pulled around to be the morning yet.
Yeah, I've got, actually headed into, work so early.
Make a deception check.
Seven.
They rolled a 16.
Oh, come on,
Of
man.
course.
As he kind of looks at you. Where are you going to work? You hear the shuffle of armor as the other two begin slowly approaching the human. He looks at you quizzically with like this look in his eye.
I work, in a kitchen at one of the inns.
Which inn?
Can I roll a history maybe for an inn?
Go for it.
Yeah. 15.
15. I'm gonna roll a random DC for you. I shit you not, that is a DC 14 that I rolled.
What the fuck?
You vaguely remember passing by, or we can even go with the inn that you guys had gotten told to go to, the Drunken Ferry in the Southern District. The Drunken Ferry is on its way towards where you're heading southward.
I work at the Drunken Ferry.
I'll let you redo your deception check.
17.
14. You hear one of the elves kind of like step up behind this human, kind of like, people get up early for their jobs. It's probably off to make some bread, ain't you, dear?
Yes, I am.
That's a good lass. Come on. Don't bother the busybody. The human, just kind of still looking at you, is turned to go northward. As you can feel, he wasn't fully convinced, but it was good enough for his less perceptive mates. As the three of them continue walking northward, searching for 2 dark elves.
Sweet. I'm gonna kind of turn back around and pick Ophelia back up so we can continue on.
Okay. Ophelia, you are able to lead these 2 to the other hiding spot that you have. This one is a little bit larger than the shed that you found in the Northern District, because unlike the Northern District, the bottom half of this place actually does have some abandoned places, as there is a kind of I wouldn't say basement, but almost like a half bit of like a half and half, where if you go down the staircases and look out this kind of small half window, you can see that only about half of your body is above ground, as it's kind of like a floor that's sunken in to not be a 2-story building, but be a story with a half basement and a first floor that's slightly elevated. And you know that that window is not locked, and that area is not inhabited. And as you lead them over, the window pulls open and each of you are able to slip in as quietly as you can. And you sit on the ground of this kind of larger area. It's quite a bit roomier than the shed was. The shed only giving you probably about like a 5x8 space to kind of be in. Well, this area is closer to being like 20 feet across and 10 feet deep in. Each of you kind of slink to the floor for a second. You just coming off of the adrenaline of lying to 3 of the guards as they were actively looking for the people you were harboring. Breathe a sigh of relief.
Where are we right now? Is this place safe?
It's as safe as I can manage at the moment. During my early time in the city, I wasn't able to make my way to the northern gate on my own, so I had to make a few stops along the way.
Is there anything? What all's in the basement? Is there anything that lean up against, or bags of something that I can lay down on, or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. You look over this place. It's quite abandoned. There's a couple old stools that are kind of knocked over. You can see what looked like where a shelving unit was, but it's been torn out. It looks like a place that was completely demolished for some sort of renovation and just left. There's next to nothing here.
Okay. I'm going to, lean against one of the walls, off an adjacent wall from the window that we kind of came into, and just kind of slowly slip down to the ground, to sit down and lean against the wall and just say, I need to rest. This has been too much.
What packs do you have? Do you have an explorers, like a monster?
I had a Dungeoneer's pack, but I believe that's with you at the moment, or
yeah. It's with you. Has your backpack with me in it, and you have my backpack with your things in it.
Yes.
Okay. And we'll sort that out later. But let's see if you have a bedroll in there.
I think I do. Let me check my inventory. I got rations. That's all I got. Torches, tinderbox, 10-day ration, water skin, rope, crowbar, hammer, Titan's porch. That's it.
No bedroll.
Nope, a comfy brick wall for me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we have to do this once more.
Cuddle time. Cuddle time.
It's gonna have to actually be that because there's no other way to do this. So I guess Ophelia's gonna lay on the ground and be a pillow again because Aelin is coming apart at the seams.
All right. You kind of watch as Ophelia maneuvers herself over to the other side, and
She feels like her backpack under her head to act as like a pillow. She's comfortable enough.
and Aelin rests his head upon her stomach.
I'm gonna shift back to my tiefling form. And if they're good here, I'm gonna head back to the inn.
We'll be here tomorrow night if you choose to bring the others. We can try to get this resolved.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. You do not happen to run into any guard patrols as such. No stealth nor deception is needed. As you make your way back to the Fresh Flask Inn, just as the sun begins to peek over the city of Alinar Orin. A stressful night has been had for all involved. Has anything been learned? Or are things just getting more confusing? We'll find out. Hopefully when everyone's able to untangle things together. Next session. Thank you everybody for swinging by and hanging out with us for these lovely 3 hours with these 6 lovely people trying not to die. They're doing great. They're doing great. They don't even know how bad things could have been or how good they are.
What do you mean how bad it could have been? The Inquisition is here!
The Inquisition
This is awful!
is here, and you don't know that yet. And so,
I don't...
they're going to yell at me in the call when we finish this stream. Helmini is already yelling at me, so like the dam's already open. But
There's a couple more things you gotta do.
if you've enjoyed this, I know. I appreciate the reminder every time, but I am going to give this to our lovely fake drunk satyr tonight of getting inspiration.
Yay!
I didn't know that you were actually here. I thought you were muted a good deal of stuff. That's why I wasn't saying anything.
Yay!
So congratulations, Yoy and Jazz. Jazz, congratulations. Thank you so much for not dying to the Inquisitor. What do you mean? How could she have died? That's ridiculous. Don't worry about it. But if you have been watching and you've enjoyed the stream, please make sure to follow, or if you're watching the rerun of this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We do this every week that we can. We love doing it. We just want to make sure that you're having a good time too. Other than that, we'll be back next week, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Take care. Goodbye.